NetDecking. It's a good thing, and you should do it. Hi, your local Dragon Lady here, and today I'm going to be talking about NetDecking. It's a common term used in trading card games, but in case you're new to it, NetDecking is when you see a deck profile online and copy it for use. NetDecking for some reason has had a bad rap for a while, and it still does to this day to a certain extent. And I can't figure out why. At my locals, it's really common to NetDeck in some shape or form. Anytime someone uses a spicy tech, other duelists will ask where they got it from, and you would often hear things like, "I saw it on this channel," or "that website," or "who's this video?" Everyone will reply on how neat it is and often go online to check out the source for more ideas. So no, I have not seen a negative response to NetDecking in person, but that doesn't mean I still don't hear about it online. And I think that has to change. So I'm going to talk about why NetDecking is a good thing and why you should be doing it. It's great for new or returning players. Story time here. Years ago, there was no NetDecking. We had to make up our own decks with the very few sets that were available. But today is different. We have archetypes and thousands of cards that synergize with each other. When I returned to the game in 2018, I had a 15-year gap. At my first 2018 locals, all I did was upgrade my dragon deck with the current ban list. In my last match, my opponent was taking his time with his plays and apologized to me because he was still learning the deck. This confused me. I thought that if you built a deck, you must know how it works, right? I mean, that's how it worked years ago. He then told me that he found it online, and he, along with everyone else, encouraged me to search YouTube for profiles and ideas. This is how I learned that decks can now be built around certain monsters and archetypes. Which leads me to explain why NetDecking should not be shamed. Pure variations are not original. Let's take Blue Eyes for example, cause I'm pretty sure that's the main reason people watch this channel. When you look at pure Blue Eyes builds, all decks are going to have the same cards. This applies to almost any deck that is built around certain engines. This is where the term standard comes from.
Alright, this is standard.
Standard.
3 Alistair.
Standard for Invoke.
Perfect.
If you want to play Invoke, you need this.
So for Blue Eyes, you will always have Blue Eyes White Dragons, Blue Eyes Alts, Dragon Spirit of White, Sage with Eyes of Blue, some combination of the eggs, Melody of Awakening Dragon, Trade-In, Dragon Reborn cards, and Blue Eyes Spirit. So now that you have the core deck, you have two options. You can copy the rest of the deck so that you can learn how the engine works, or you can change it up a bit to see if you can make better plays with the deck.
Followed is 2 Simple Skeleton. I see a lot of deck profiles playing 3. I'm only playing 2 to make room for other sided cards or other decks that I'm playing.
NetDecking allows for new ideas. Now that we've established that many decks have the same operating parts, it allows room to add or remove from it. You have to understand, people post their profiles online for a reason. It invites people to try them out and make changes if they have better ideas. Take my Chaos Max deck for example. Adding the Drake Overlord to my deck was not an idea that I came up on my own. A viewer gave me the idea in the comments. I tried it out and it worked so well that I included the card in all my future profiles and I gave him the credit. The idea caught on so much that I've seen other deck profiles use it and mention that they've seen it on my channel. This is how ideas spread and evolve in deck building, and sometimes new standards are formed. Now, would I have came up with the Drake Overlord idea on my own? Well, not back then, because I wasn't using YGO Pro at the time, and that program has a filter tool in its card search, so today finding cards like that are really easy. It's how the meta game is formed. Okay, sort of. The metagame is developed when a certain strategy is seeing a lot of success and other duelists copy and modify the idea to gain more victories. NetDecking is pretty much the same thing. We often see the meta developing online. A lot of pro players will take existing ideas and improve on them. This can also lead to deck builds that other people may not have thought of, or controversial moves that turn out to be great. I remember when I removed Bingo Machine Go from my Chaos Max deck. Everyone thought I was crazy. It was borderline blasphemous. You just don't do that. But guess what? That build took first place at my locals and made top cut numerous times. Rogue decks are often introduced through NetDecking. Again, when someone sees a profile online, they may see more potential than the profiler realizes and adds an engine to it that elevates it to rogue status. I like to think that my banished deck is rogue because I honestly have not seen many people use that strategy during the time I built it. But today, Inferno Tempest is in high demand now, so banishing seems to be catching on. Now that we know there are good things about NetDecking, does it have disadvantages? Well, yes. Profiles often have certain strategies in mind. Case in point, if I were to take the winning deck of a YCS and copy it exactly from my locals, chances are I may have a different outcome than the profiler did. The reason for this is my method for playing the deck won't be the same as theirs. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a complicated game, so sometimes copying a deck card for card without the same mindset on how it was created will lead to different results. If you have a rough idea on how it works but want to incorporate an engine that you're 100% comfortable with, you can alter the core deck into something that you can master better. So another short story, a friend of mine plays a Blue Eyes deck with standard strategies. She was concerned that she wasn't playing it right and thought the deck was really poor. So to demonstrate to her that it can indeed do things, I used her deck to play a game with the winning duelist and his first place deck of that day's tournament. And I won. It really is all about how you play the deck, not always how it's built. This happens all the time. In fact, I've seen Chaos Max deck profiles online that are very close to mine, but they've changed a few cards because it worked better with their duel method and prefer that the most. So how do you net deck? First, you need to decide what deck you want to play. Next, search the deck online. YouTube is the most common site. When you find a profile, make sure it's recent. A deck from a year ago may have some good plays, but keep in mind that it operated in a different format, so it won't have a strong effect today, and some of the cards may even be banned, rendering the strategy useless. When you do find a profile you like, look on the channel for combo videos. A lot of profilers will include a demonstration on how some of the combos of that deck works. Next, try building it with real cards or with proxies if you don't have any, or software like Edo Pro, and practice. Once you have a full understanding on how the deck works, try experimenting with it. Try swapping out some cards or change some ratios. You'd be surprised what new plays you can discover. Last but not least, if you plan on playing the deck long term, keep it up to date. When a new set of cards comes out, read all the effects to see if any of them can work with your current build. And don't forget to keep up with the meta game. Even if the deck you play is not meta, you still want to know what's going on so you can make changes to your deck so that it can keep up. So that, my dragons, is why I think net decking is a good thing. Creating original decks is really good too. However, if you're looking to build something around a certain monster or archetype, net decking is almost a necessity due to the overwhelming number of cards out there. And there is no shame, especially considering the deck cores are pretty much the same anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, remember to be a good sport, play the game, not the fame. See ya! Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Duel Links, and Edo Pro. Links and user information are in the description below. Keep dueling and have fun.